So Vinnie, first of all, I've got to say thank you for agreeing to do this today, because you have recently come out of prison. You've had help from Plus Konnect, but it's still quite a brave thing to do, to actually sit here and tell us your story. Why did you think it was worth doing?
Because I just think it's so important that actually to let people know how easy it is to get help, and that there are services out there who want to help you succeed and to move forward in your life, and that people do genuinely care. So for me, it's more than valuable. It's helped change my life, in all honesty, and yeah.
You're 36 now.
I am, yes.
So that we can get just a little bit of a knowledge of where you're at, can you just take us through your story a little bit?
So I first got involved in crime and drugs at the age of 12 years of age, kind of groomed into it. In and out of care, broken families, and yes, first prison sentence was the age of 16. Been in various different prisons, from young persons all the way up to high security to open, and I've been through the system top to bottom. My longest sentence was 8 years, which I've just currently finished after serving 4, and back out again.
What is it that made you keep committing crimes? Prison didn't do the trick, basically.
No, it didn't. I think it's trauma and unresolved issues, and not having the right support. So kind of always go back to what you know best. So if I was struggling, or times were hard, or significant things were happening, like, you kind of just go back to what you know, and without breaking that cycle or having the right help or support to help you move past that, I kind of think you'll always go back to that kind of thing if things go wrong. So it's learned behaviour, to be honest.
So you served an 8-year sentence this time?
I did, yes.
As you were coming to the end of that sentence, what was going through your mind? Were you anxious about coming out?
Yeah, really anxious and worried. The world had changed, and a lot had moved on in 4 years. A lot of people I'd lost over the years, and there had been deaths in my family. I'd lost a younger brother. My children, obviously, 4 years without their dad. They'd grown up and left for like primary school and secondary school. Yeah, the world has changed significantly over 4 years, and it was scary coming out, and I didn't know what it was going to be like, and yeah, frightening.
How did you first make contact or hear about Konnect? Where did that come into your life?
I was in Exeter, so I was due for release, and basically like an information sheet came through my door for various different services, and Konnect was on there, and my old probation officer Zoe was a part of Konnect Communities, and I knew this, and it was a free phone number, so I got in touch and wanted to speak to Konnect and seek advice and support for release.
Did the support start whilst you were still serving your sentence?
Yeah, literally, whilst I was inside, literally preparing me. So Simon, almost weekly, without fail, was on the phone weekly, getting ready, just talking, not just actually getting ready for my release, but actually just support. I had family issues going on at the time, and they was just there for me the whole way through.
So what were the sort of things that to you were going to be the biggest barriers when they let you out those gates?
The biggest barriers for me was it's my community that I came from, so it's actually the area. So I wanted to move away to start a fresh start and sort of draw a line under the past and move on with my life.
Lots of memories?
Lots of memories, some good and some very bad. Like I said, I've lost 2 younger brothers, and there's kind of in the area I was going back to, so they won't be forgotten, but at the same time I don't want the bad memories of where and how they died reminded on a daily basis. And it's not that when you've served a large sentence like I did, and it was quite public. I was in prison for armed robbery, and I'd done the 2 robberies quite close to where I lived, so people knew, and I didn't feel like I was able to move forward in that area or be able to progress or develop. Listen,
let's be honest with each other. People will say, why are we spending money rehabilitating somebody who has committed a crime?
Serious crime as well. Without spending money and putting money into treatment and to rehabilitation, like I've just said, it just goes round and round again. Unless you treat the issues or address the stuff that is keeping people reoffending or barriers to stopping people rehabilitating, it's just going to continue. And we can't keep building prisons. There's got to be more access to treatment, and there's got to be more understanding of trauma, and maybe understanding of why people commit offences or they turn to drugs. There's underlying issues normally with people don't just wake up one morning and start taking heroin or crack cocaine or other class A substances or any other drugs really. It's normally something behind it. So without the awareness or help and support, it won't change. It'll just get worse, and it is getting worse in people's communities. And I know people might say just lock people up and throw away the key, but that's not really addressing the issue, is it? People are going to come out eventually at some point, and it's going to start again. I mean, if you want the burglaries, the robberies, the drug and alcohol related crime to stop, if you don't treat it, it'll just continue.
So Vinnie, let's talk about the support that Simon and the team at Konnect Communities have offered them. What was your uppermost priority as you were coming back into society?
It's just advice and support, and to know that people are there who care. It's so I can't express how grateful I am for the efforts that they've made to help me. Not only to reintegrate it back into the community, but to help me move forward with my life. I've moved to a new area where we're all happy and we're settled down. And not only that, I've just been accepted for a job working in rehabilitation. So not only have I been through the system, I'm now a part of it to help others, to try and help people make meaningful change. And all that is through the help and support from Konnect Communities and Simon and Zoe. It's immense. And I haven't been out that long, to be honest with you. I've been out 4 months, and I've already secured permanent full-time work in rehabilitation as a recovery worker. And that is all down to the support, my support network that I have, and it's been amazing. I can't thank them enough, and I wouldn't be where I am today or in such a good position as what I am without the support of Simon and Zoe. So amazing, literally my heroes, and not heroes wear capes, but they are to me, honestly, heroes.
What's your relationship like with your family, with your children?
It was hard to start with. I mean, my youngest daughter was 6 months old when I came away, so she's 4.5 when I came home. So she's done a lot of growing in that time, and like I said, my older children are in secondary school. But because I'm settled and because of the support I've had, it's kind of like now I never was away, and our bonds are like it was before. And we're back to being a happy little family again, which we all love. We like our little days out, and we love it here where we are today, so we're good.
So you've served your sentence.
I have.
You've received support, and in a very short space of time you're looking at a fairly bright future.
Excelled rapidly, and that's because of the support I've had and just the advice and guidance. I mean, to serve 4 years in prison and come out within 4 months to secure a job working in rehabilitation is phenomenal, and I'm proud of that achievement. But I'm also humble to the fact that I wouldn't be there today if it wasn't for the support and guidance that I've had.
So finally then, the future for Konnect Communities is currently uncertain. How would you think your time spent in the last 4 months would have been different if you hadn't had their support?
I would have kind of been lost. I'd have been lost on days where I didn't know where to turn. Like, after serving 4 years in prison, you kind of lose a lot of your support network or family, and things move on. And without their support and guidance, I did feel lost anyway. I had to turn to support for people like Simon and Zoe, and like I just said, I wouldn't be where I am today without their support and guidance.
And you're actually going to be giving out similar sort of support and guidance to others in the same situation?
So I'm going to put my lived experience towards helping other people, and if I can help one family or one person not go through what I've been through, I'd happily take that away with me forever. And and I know the right people around you and the right support, you can achieve goals. I'm an example of that, and I just want others to know that it's possible to make meaningful, long-lasting change as well. And I know with the support of Konnect Communities and people like that, you can do that. So, yeah,
Vinnie,
grateful.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and I
you
wish
very
the best
much.
of luck.
Thank you.